Boss of Blades.
Hello YouTubes, and today we're actually doing a deck profile for the deck that I am playing in the June Mythic Tournament. The deck in question is Nahiri, but with Yaks. So let's get into this. So basically, we chose Nahiri because we get access to Pyroclasm as a early board sweeper to deal 2 damage to each creature. We are running cage matches to choose 2 creatures and deal damage to each equal to the power of the other. And this actually plays almost like a 5-mana Lava Wave a lot of the time. Now this is an open deckless tournament, so people will try to play around cage match, but honestly we can use that to our advantage as well by making our opponent be less aggressive towards us. We also of course are playing 2 Day of Judgments, just 7 mana to destroy all creatures. Best board sweeper in the game, it just clears the board. Then we have, of course, Icing Death, who requires some, you have to do stuff to make him work. He is a 6/8 for 8 with flying, and he will destroy all creatures with power greater than their health. He actually works extremely well with Pinpoint Avenger, because Pinpoint Avenger will deal damage to each creature that attacked your last turn. So some of the time you can go turn 11, Pinpoint Avenger, make them take 1 damage, then Icing Death will destroy them because their power is greater than their health if they were to have equal health and attack. Now, we also are running the Trap Immolating Glare. 3 mana, destroy our opponent's strongest attacking creature upon attack. And we also have Lightning Helixes to deal 4 damage to an enemy creature and heal 4. We are choosing to use Lightning Helix because we are anticipating a large amount of aggressive decks. Otherwise, we would consider something like Smite the Monstrous to destroy higher power creatures, which will usually be in Garrett. Path to Exile, which I do not prefer because of Nissa. And Power Word Stun, which is good against relentless creatures, such as in the Liliana matchup. But because we're facing mostly aggressive decks, as I said, we are using Lightning Helix here. Then, of course, we have Second Sun's Dawn. Heal ourselves for 7. For the cost of 6 mana, and then we add a 10 damage sweeper that also deals 10 damage to our opponent's health to our deck, which honestly is how you close out a lot of the games. Then of course we have our creatures, other than the Icing Death of course. So the first thing to note is we have 2 Alarm Bells to draw a creature from our deck that costs 2 or less and add it to our hand. It has 2 charges. The creatures that we can add back would be Leonin Healer, 2/3 for 2, that heals us for 3. Core Recruit is a main reason to also go Nahiri, is because Core Recruit is really good against Garrett, because you will usually be able to trade for just straight up a Veil Cursed, because they'll have to take out your armor and also the creature. And also we could just use it to swing post hitting our opponent's board with board clears. A lot of the early aggression can be stopped because this will usually be able to block out 2 attacks. And of course, if you untap with it, it can swing in for 4, which is of course very good. Then of course, the main 2-drop here is Attack Yak. He's the 2/2 for 2, gains +2/+2 for each other attack yak you played this game. He's the namesake of the deck, and honestly, I just love the card, and I find it hilarious how he's just chopping grass, but he will literally murder your family and also steal your wife. Then of course, we actually have the Zozu. Zozu is the missing piece that makes this deck work. If Attack Yak is the main win condition, Zozu is the backup win condition. A lot of the time, we will just run out of Zozu for 4, and they're going to block it most of the time. Now, if we're facing against a ramp deck, like Nissa, or any other ramp deck, Zozu can get there. Zozu can definitely get there. I think my opponent hit 16 mana, and I hit 11, so I did Day of Judgment, Zozu swing for 16. And if you pull him back with Moorland Haunt, he will have flying and be an immediate threat that they must deal with, because he will just completely take over the game if he has flying. Then we also have Sun Titans. Sun Titan is a 7/7 for 6, and on debut and attack, he will draw the creature with the lowest cost from our deck. So he can act as additional Alarm Bells, but after our 2-drops are out of the deck, he would start grabbing the Pinpoint, so start grabbing the Zozu, and then he could grab another Sun Titan, and finally the Icing Death. There's only, I believe, 13 creatures in the deck, so more than likely he has a chance to get something that can at least block, or you can just play down almost immediately the turn after. Then we have Desperate Prayers. Simple 2 mana spell, draws a card, heals equal to our cost. Our costs range from 1 to 8. So on average though, we are going to gain probably about 4 life and a draw, which is really good for 2 mana. A lot of the time I might try to hold on to them until after I use Second Sun's Dawn to have a higher chance to draw the Second Sun. And then the last card in the deck is Champion's Grit. Champion's Grit is a 1-cost trap that says, after a friendly creature dies, return it to your hand and give it +1/+1. Along with the Attack Yak, it will make it so that if you do turn 2 Attack Yak, going second, use the coin to put up your Champion's Grit. If you block, you'll have a 5/5 Attack Yak on turn 3, which is kind of insane. And a lot of the time, you're just using it to pull back stuff that you just want to be able to use again. Turn 9, you could use it with Icing Death to be able to sweep the board multiple times on top of that. I've used it with Core Recruit just to gain additional blockers. And of course, my favorite thing is turn 5, put it up with Zozu. Swing with the Zozu, they block it, and it comes back as a 1/5, which is honestly really hard to deal with. Then, of course, the land that you really need to make this deck work, Moorland Haunt. Moorland Haunt gives you essentially infinite value that gets incrementally stronger. Every time you hit an Attack Yak, it will become bigger and also have flying. Starting turn 6, you have a chance to add a 1-cost 1/1 copy of a random creature from your graveyard to your hand instead of getting a mana gem. If you do, give it flying. Now, every time you have something die, you will increase your chances of it being that creature up to Moorland Haunt. While this is only a 30% chance, it is a very big reason to run it as a win condition, because other than running the healing land, most of the other lands that you could be running do not benefit a control type style. The main thing that we have otherwise is we're only running the Core Recruits. Nahiri's Outburst is honestly a little bit too weak most of the time. We may not even have a creature out. And of course, Willful Smith doesn't really help us at all. Nahiri's ability actually does see use. You give a creature +2/+0 to the end of your opponent's turn, and it costs 1. A lot of time we'll do it on like a Core Recruit to have a 4-power blocker, so that is not to be underestimated. So this is the deck. This is Nahiri Yaks, and we will be playing in the tournament. We are currently, as of this video, we won the round 1, and we'll be playing against Wushu in round 2. So wish me luck, and thank you for watching, and look forward to additional content from Boss of Blades.